What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. So when we talked about SoFi, more specifically this upcoming week, what might cause some volatility in the stock price, what the current data points are saying, and where I see things going this week. Before I get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. Also on a side note, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate, whatever floats your boat. I appreciate you, and yeah, thanks for tuning in. Couple things to note for this upcoming week. It is going to be a relatively dry / boring week because there is no data points that could cause a lot of disruption in the broader market. Absolutely no companies unveiling their earnings. And of course, today is off. I'm sure you already realized the market is closed. And right here, the fear and greed index is at 77. So it is going to want to propel the market higher. So this whole week is going to be a technical driven week. So every stock might be doing something different depending on its own technicals. So I'm going to go over SoFi's technicals along with some of the data points that have been coming out to really propel SoFi higher. And so as of late, there has been no recent news from SoFi, no SEC filings, which of course is a fairly positive thing. Almost 1 year ago today, give or take somewhat, so December 14th, 2022, SoFi did launch their early access to pay in 4. And a lot of people have been really utilizing this flexibility as of late, unfortunately, because of just higher prices, inflation, whatever else that's out in the market, holiday season. So I feel like this is a very good thing. There was a video, or is a video, that I just wanted to play for you. It's only a minute or so, but it does point out on how this flexibility is really going to help a lot of stocks that offer kind of things like this, one of which is SoFi. So stay tuned.
For today's Tech Check, with a look at what's in store for the payment space in 2024, and specifically with that buy now, pay later trend.
Yeah, Dom, so that's been one of the big payment trends to watch in the new year. You've got buy now, pay later, also mobile, direct bank payments, and then, of course, AI. Everybody's talking about it. Buy now, pay later, though, we'll start with that. It has seen the biggest transformation by far of the group I mentioned there. According to Adobe, it saw more than 40% pop over Thanksgiving weekend. Overall, it was up about 15% this year. These installment payments, they used to be for big ticket items like a Peloton or a couch, for example. But as consumers start to feel a bite of higher interest rates, some of these interest-free options are becoming everyday spending tools. Some of the top categories this year for buy now, pay later: groceries, toys, and cosmetics. Affirm has been the main beneficiary here. It's up more than 400% this year. Square and PayPal, as well as Apple and the card companies, also compete in this space with their own offerings. And then you've got mobile shopping, another trend that really took off this year, up 14% or so in the holiday season. It hit a new record, according to Adobe. Smartphone shopping made up more than half of all holiday sales for the first time during this holiday shopping season. Shopify and Amazon, they could be key winners for this trend. And then you've got direct bank payments. That really gained momentum, linking directly to your checking account. It's been a win for merchants. You're increasingly seeing utility providers, especially, offering discounts for consumers that opt in. It's a way to also limit credit card interest.
So yeah, pretty cool stuff when it comes down to that. So that should really help SoFi's Q4 earnings and maybe in the foreseeable future, even extending after that. So going over some of the data points, I just wanted to point this out before I go over what shorts have been doing and the current short interest, is that this is the top losses for short sellers so far in 2023. Tesla has just been obliterating shorts. So I feel like 2024 is going to be the year that SoFi is on this list, that they completely obliterate the shorts. But then again, I'm not a financial advisor. You guys always do your own due diligence. But starting off, going over some of the data points, on Friday, they didn't really do too much. 15.08% of the free float is being shorted. 134.82 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average isn't really populating right now because it being a holiday is kind of skewing things up, but it does indicate that there's around more than 10 million shares available to be shorted. And cost to borrow average through interactive brokers, which typically they're kind of in line with the average, if not a little bit lower, is 0.35. But no matter what, SoFi is not a squeeze play by any means. but I feel like if they continue to kick ass time and time again with their earnings, shorts are going to feel the pain, and then SoFi will be on this list, like I said, in probably 2024. But once again, let me know your thoughts. As far as options, $5.79 million in calls being purchased on Friday versus 1.15 million in puts. So people are very optimistic about the foreseeable future. Looking at some of the specific calls that were purchased on Friday, there is a very large assumption that it is going to be above $10 by this upcoming Friday. So there was around 17,000 call options at the $10 strike price purchased. So a lot of optimism. Looking at some of the puts though, it is anticipated to be sub $9. But moving on, looking at some of the technicals though, with it at $9.71, it is between this pivot and this R1. So $9 kind of going into this week is going to be a very strong support that you'll want to watch for it to hold. 977 is going to be that next strong resistance. But like I said, with the fear and greed index at 77, the market is going to want to propel a lot of growth stocks such as SoFi higher this week. So in my opinion, I feel like this 977 is just going to get kind of obliterated like butter pretty fast. So some points to watch for this upcoming week: the psychological level of $10. SoFi was flirting with it last week quite frequently, didn't really have enough to commit and stay above that, but that is going to be something for to watch. And if it does break above that, then $10.25 and $11. But like I mentioned with the actual technicals, there's a lot of assumption it is going to be above $10. So most likely between 10 and 10.25 for this upcoming week. And as well, looking at this though, so two indicators I like to look at: number of retail investors have been getting out. You can tell that based on the momentum indicator, and stochastic is at 83. So it is considered a little overbought. And you do see a red line above the black showing a bearish sentiment. So if it does, oddly enough, fail to get above this 977 successfully, then you are going to see SoFi's technicals cause it to pull back to around that $9 range. As unfortunate as that is, but like I mentioned at the very beginning, this whole week is going to be a technical driven week. And so every stock is going to do what their technicals are really justifying. So again, if SoFi is unable to get above this R1, which I kind of see it far-fetched, but if it does, then it's going to pull back. So once again, let me know your thoughts on SoFi in the comments below, and give yourself a shout out. Have you been buying recently? Have you been selling? What have you been doing with SoFi? And hopefully everyone's having an amazing holiday season, Christmas, whatever floats your boat. Today is actually Christmas, about to have dinner with the family fairly soon. I just wanted to pop on, just break it down that I'm very optimistic about SoFi this upcoming week. Technicals look fairly good, data points look fairly good, and plus I just saw this video as well and figured this would be very suited for a SoFi video. So who knows? Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. With all that said, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and let's have a kick-ass week this upcoming week.